Sahana vavatu, Sahano bhunaktu, Sahaviryam karavavahai, Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. All right, welcome everybody. It's a small class again today. I feel like people are getting sick and trying to get back into a routine. We are recording today, so I've been asked to summarize a little bit from last week, so I'll do that. And then there was a question asked about what is Atma, because it's confusing, and we refer to Atma as many things. So there's a story from Chandogya Upanishad I'll share where we talk about what is Atma, and if we have time, we'll get to the text. So anybody remember last week we had a little bit of an interesting class with discussions, and we came back and there was one topic that an 8-year-old asked about to their parents. Anybody?
Yes.
Yes. What was the question?
What is going to happen after death?
Yes. What is going to happen after death? And all of us have this question. It's just we have it when things are bad, right? We don't, on a regular happy day, we're not like, oh, what happens after death? No, it's known as smashana vairagya, right? You get vairagya or dispassion when you're around or in the cemetery. And then you leave that and you forget. We're very good at that. We're very good at conveniently forgetting truths. And the ignorance, that's the best place for the ignorance to brew, right? Every week we can talk about, oh, you have to be detached from, your emotions. You have to be detached from your relatives and your friends. You have to have an even mind. And then you get back into the routine of things and suddenly I'm the most attached person like Velcro, right? And something happens to my child, my husband, and the anger and the emotions, it just very quickly comes up. So that's why the very first verse of Sadhana Panchakam we're talking about, every day, Vedo nityam adhiyatam, taduditam karma svanushthiyatam. Meaning every day you have to study the Vedas. Now, what do the Vedas say about life after death? We believe in Punarjanma, right? And it's given in our Shastras, our Upanishads, but also great Mahatmas have talked about Punarjanma like something very common, even in Bhajagovindam, right? It's a very common verse in Bhajagovindam. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. Punarapi janani jatare shayanam. We're in this cycle of birth and death and birth and death. And iha samsare bahudustare. This samsara is difficult to cross over. Kripaya pare pahi murare. What is the only refuge I have? Bhagwan, please be compassionate. Pahi murare. And take care of me, hold my hand as I cross this ocean of samsara. Right? And why is ocean given? It's also given as a river. How many of you have done like rapids, they're called, where you're in this huge tube and then you have to go down? It's not peaceful. It's whitewater rafting, right? Yeah. It's very tumultuous, right? And even in rivers, you find these alligators lurking. We're in Florida. I see alligators pretty more frequently than I'd like. They're lurking there. And in the ocean, the same word for crocodile is used for shark in Sanskritam, right? There's sharks in the ocean. And again, Florida is known for that too. Everything in our life is like that. But have you seen people taking pictures on whitewater rafting or even canoeing and kayaking? People still find joy in crossing, right? Not everybody in that river or ocean is crying all the time. Some people actually want, I don't know, they pay money to go swim with sharks. right? They get put in a little cage and they want to swim with the sharks. So, what's the difference? Yes, there's people that are thrill seekers, there's that. But the analogy I'm trying to make is, even if we're crossing through this samsara, this river or this ocean, it's possible to do it with an even mind and a smile. I know it feels impossible many times. Trust me, I get it. But it is possible to train our mind to be even-keeled. How do we do that? Again, this is where the Vedas tell us. Remind yourself of the truths every day. It's two sides of the same coin. One side, Jagat Mithya, meaning this entire world is just a delusion. You don't have to get worked up about it. Right? Brahma Satyam is the other side of the coin, meaning there is this eternal truth, this Brahman, and the key there is I am that. It's not like you're searching for two separate things. I am that Atma, Brahman, that's always happy and peaceful. I don't have an option. There's 2 seats up here if y'all want to come up. I don't know. Come on up. There's 2 here, there's 1 here, there's 1 there. All right, no worries. So, what do we remind ourselves of? The 2 parts of this coin. What is death, right? What happens after death? The one side is we all die. I think in the Western thinking, there's a lot of fear associated with that, but there doesn't need to be, because it's a cycle. When this body ceases to serve us, it's time for the body, for the Atma or the Jivatma to move on. It's a shift in worldview, right? And this, in the Vedanta course, this one statement, it kind of flipped how I used to think. It says that we think that the world begins, we come into the world, we go, and then the world ends. That's our center, right? Our center is me, as this body coming in and out of this world. Here's the reality. I am. I exist. I am. The world comes. The world goes. I continue. Huge shift in thinking. And that shift is in the I. If I take myself to be the body, I'm nothing but a part of this world. I'm made of all these, it's called Pancha Mahabhuta, the elements, the 5 elements. This body is made of the 5 elements, come together, goes apart. And when I was doing camps and stuff for kids in Chinmaya Mission, these Avengers movies, there's a lot of Disney movies we use, right? Where you can learn the essence of Vedanta by picking things apart. Kung Fu Panda is an all-time favorite. We use that year after year, and the kids never get tired, we never get tired. You don't have to go to the Matrix level, right? There's small lessons everywhere. Anyway, in some of those superhero movies, you have heroes or villains that break apart and come back, right? I think that metallic lady, what's it called? No, the lady in Avengers, or X-Men. Nobody? Mystique. Somebody pays attention to what their kids are watching. Mystique. Or maybe you like to watch it. No judgment. She's like, this is metal, and she morphs and she comes back. Terminator. That's my time. Right? That guy, it's just droplets of metal, and then it comes back. This body's not that cool, but we also are made of the Pancha Mahabhutas. This is in us, right? We're just more sophisticated mixture of fire, water, earth, wind, everything. because the wind has to go up and down the right pipes and the blood and the water content has to be perfect. There's a miracle in this, right? But at the end of the day, when the body is done, it disintegrates. To a worm, it doesn't matter, right? So that's the reality of one side of death, that this body is just that. It comes and goes. Now, what's the other side? The other side is I'm not this body, and I am this Atma. Okay, now we get into the discussion. What is Atma? Oh, last week we also went into the 5 Panchagnis that this jiva has to cross through in order to be born. How difficult this human birth is, right? Anybody remember any part of it? How do jivas come into this earth, according to one Upanishad? Water, yes. So this jiva, jivatma, is in these water droplets. They come in, then they go underground. Plants, fruits and plants, that's the next level. Then they have to be eaten by a male, right? Then that male needs to make sure that the female has that jivatma transferred. And then, the stotram that I was thinking of last week, I don't know why. I think you're the most relaxed when you're taking a shower. Everything comes to you. Ado karma prasangat kalayati kalusham matrukuksho sthitam mam vinmutra medhya madhye. So this is the first verse of Shiva Aparada Kramapana Stotram, where you're asking forgiveness from Bhagwan Shivji for what? For forgetting to say your name. When? Ado, at the very beginning, karma prasangat, when karma pushes me into this world as a jiva, and I become this fetus, right? That's the next step. I become this fetus. I am surrounded by muscles, medya, madhye, all of these, this heat, jataragni, the heat of the stomach, it's actually really hot inside our bodies, right? And especially this child situated between your intestines, it's not a pleasant place to be. It's not pleasant outside the body. I'm sure it's not pleasant inside. It's not some cloud 9. Not every VIP, there's no separate entrance, right? Everybody must go through this. And nobody has better smelling feces than somebody else. You can't control that. Every jiva must go through this congested place, trying to stretch and kick. And if you've felt the mother's kick, or if you as a mother have felt it, you're like, man, come on. Right? It's beautiful, but you know there isn't enough space. And they kick the ribs and they kick everywhere. There's no space for those poor babies. And in the stotram it said, even then I didn't say Shiva. Even in all that distress, I didn't say it. And it goes through every stage of life. In the arrogance of my youth, I didn't say your name. In the difficulties of adulthood, I didn't say your name. In fact, even when I was about to die, I didn't say your name. Bhagwan, please help me. I'm sorry. Right? And this is written by sannyasis and gurus, Adi Shankaracharya ji, who is Bhagwan himself. So it's to teach us. Right? So nobody escapes from that. Those were the 4 layers. And then the final birth is when the child comes from the mother's womb. In that moment, the past is forgotten. Right? And the new birth happens. Okay. So I finished the summary of last week. Now, Atma story. Chandogya Upanishad. Who is Indra? King of God, Devatas, gods, Devatas. Who is the king of the Asuras? Demons. Guru is Shuklacharya, very good, but who is the king? Virochana. Okay, Virochana. So, you have Virochana and Indra. And they see an ad. Okay, They see an ad, and I don't know how ads work. I'm making this up, okay? How ads work in that world, but they see an ad. Don't have to worry about old age. Don't have to worry about death. Eat all you want, buffet. Right? What you want, when you want. All these flashing lights. We think Indra and Virochana's life is the goal. You don't you can be the king of the devatas and you still have problems. Ask Indra, he'll tell you. Right? So they both see this advertisement. They're like, oh man, it's shiny, all these lights. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I need this. In fact, they were a bit lazy and comfortable. But once they saw the other guy checking it out, they're like, I gotta check it out too. That's what we do too, right? We're all comfortable and chill and happy, and somebody else like, oh, did you see this? Did you get this? Are you going to this course? Are you doing this? No, should I be? So that's what happened, both of them. Oh, and if you get this, whatever this is, you will rule everything and everyone. Forget the division between asuras and devatas. You'll get it. You'll be better than Bhagavan himself. Advertisement, exaggeration, right? So both of them look at each other, they look at the advertisement, they're like, all right. And then somebody comes, again, wonderful dusanga. Sometimes dusanga can become satsanga. They say, oh, I heard Virochana's going to go get this thing, you know. I heard it's in Brahmaloka. Are you going to go, Indra? Indra, oh, really? And then somebody tells Virochana, I heard Indra's going to go get this thing. It's in Brahmaloka. Are you going? Because you know he can rule you if you're going to win if you have that thing. Both of them super interested now. They got to one-up each other. They make their way to Brahmaloka. They're like, you guys chill for a second. Devatas, asuras, don't get in any trouble. We'll be right back. They go. Who's sitting there in Brahmaloka? Oh, thank you, Brahmaji. Also known as Prajapati, right? And I'm not making the story up. It's in Chandogya Upanishad. I might be making up some things, but the main story. Prajapati is there. How many faces? 4. He's waiting. Anybody willing to come? Take a sabbatical from their life to see or even be curious about it. Because sometimes we get too comfortable with our everyday life, we're not even curious about it. But they were curious. And he's looking, looking. And finally they come up. And he's like, oh, I have 2 students, sit. They're like, students? We didn't come here to study anything, give us what we need. We're ready to go back and have fun. We're kings of our world, we don't need students. We don't need to be students, we don't need a teacher. He's like, well, you need to know what Atma is. Once you know that, you get everything. I promise. That's it. Just that one word, that Atma, that's it. He's like, yeah, just figure out what Atma is and that's it. Okay. Fine, teach us, tell us, just tell us. He's like, go and look in a mirror and you'll know what Atma is. Look in a mirror. We all have mirrors. Okay, cool. That's easy. They go look in a pond, in a lake, in a mirror, actual mirror, whatever. 2 of them, 2 approaches. Virochana looks in the mirror, right? Or a reflection is basically what was said. So you can find a reflection anywhere. Indra looks in a mirror or a reflection. Virochana thinks, oh, I'm so handsome. Look at my curly hair. Look at my broad shoulders. Look at my chin line, that jawline. So super. Atma is nothing but the body, and I have the best body in the world. That's it. I'm done. He goes back to Brahmaji. I figured it out. Very quickly he goes back. And Brahmaji says, what? What is Atma? He says, this body, and I am it. Brahmaji's like, oh really? Is that what you think? Are you sure? He's like, yeah, I'm sure. You think you'll rule the world with this body of yours? Of course. It's strong, it's capable. I can do whatever I want. This body is all I need. That's all you need. Okay, tatastu, go. That's it. Virochana's journey stopped at the body. The body is Atma. and he believed it. He worshipped it. Not much different like today. We worship the body. We worship youth. We worship everything that has to do with young, being vibrant, being dynamic. Right? And that's it. He spent his whole life going after that. Was he right? He's gone. So this is how the world turns, right? You have 4 yugas, Chatur Yuga. And for each 4 yugas, there's a Brahmaji, an Indra, a Virochana, and they keep rotating. So after Kali Yuga, don't think, we're going to witness the end of life. I remember when 2000 happened, right? Oh, that's it, the end of the world. I'm like, I'm living for the end of the world. But the Shastras say we still have thousands of years. I don't know. Let's see. Even when Kali Yuga ends, the Satya Yuga will begin. A new appointment of a Brahmaji, appointment of an Indra, appointment of Virochana, and us going through the cycle, yippee-yi-yay. Right? So this Virochana just did that. Now Indra, he's staring at his reflection. Is this body permanent? He's made enough mistakes in life. I don't think so. And Brahmaji continues this lesson, slowly and slowly. 101 years, it is said. Indraji contemplates on what is this Atma? Is it this body? Is it this Jiva? Well, if this Jiva keeps going in circles and circles, then what's the difference between me and another human being? Ugh. Can't be this Jiva. Because even this Jiva is limited. In fact, this Jiva is so limited that it needs a body to even express itself. Think about that. How weak is that? A Jiva needs a body to express itself. Otherwise, it can't. Should I be limited as a Jiva? No. What is this Atma? Okay, what gives life to that Jiva? What is that ever-present consciousness that gives life to all beings, even though it doesn't have to? It just is. I'm that. That's the only thing in this world that is not limited in any way. It's that Brahman and that Atma. And he gains that knowledge. Now, just like us, no matter how many times we've told, sometimes we forget. But Indraji actually got this knowledge. And that's how that story goes in Chandogya Upanishad. Now, like we talk about every week, have we investigated? Have we looked in the mirror? Right? We had to do this exercise. I was at this summer course for Chinmay Mission Youth. I was a youth at the time. And we had an exercise for 1 week. You're not supposed to look in the mirror. You're not supposed to look in the mirror, not even to comb your hair. It was a retreat. Nobody cares, right? Nobody's supposed to care. A few people did start dating after the course, but still. 1 week, don't look at the mirror. Well, what if I have a zit? What are you going to do? Make it disappear? What if I have something in my nose? Somebody kind enough, that's your friend, will help you. That's it. Don't be, this vulnerability we have, right? Oh, what about my hair? Something sticking here or there or wherever. Maybe your friend will help you. Maybe it's not a life-altering thing. It's okay. Right? But we're obsessed with the mirror. We're obsessed with our reflection. If anybody takes a group picture, especially it's been the holidays, right? Group picture. 20 people in that picture. Who are we looking for first? Yes. I'm not looking for Archunaji. I'm looking for me. We look at ourselves. Oh, why did someone tell me my hair was messed up? Why didn't someone fix my pallu? My necklace is inside my blouse. Somebody should have told me. It was a new necklace I bought just for this party. And this is the only picture I have of this party. Nobody knows that I had a new necklace. Even if we spend our whole life staring at ourselves, that critical thinking of who is this person? You don't have to be obsessive about it and be like, who are you? Who are you? Right? No, that kind of sounds like a scary movie. But even when you look in that mirror, maybe you see some flaws, or maybe you see some beauty. Either way, that's not me. Right? A reminder every morning will do wonders. Because the moment you remind yourself, that's not me, then you question, then who am I? That's the question, right? Then who am I? How many of you have heard of Ramana Maharishi ji? The only thing, Upanishads? No, nothing. He had done all of his sadhana in his previous births. As a teenager, he saw a dead body going down the street, right? They do those processions. And in India, it's not a casket or anything. Well, most of the time for Hindus. It's open. Everybody sees the nature of the world. Nobody is sheltered or hidden. He saw a body's procession lying there. What did he do? He's like, that's interesting. Is that body not breathing? This is a body. So will this body not breathe one day? A teenager. And what does he do? Shavasana, a dead man's position. He lays down in his room and stops his breath. And he's like, oh, I guess this body isn't me either. Then what am I? He had some money he was supposed to use for school or something. Takes that money, goes to Arunachalam, right? He sits inside a cave. Well, he was sitting outside, actually, and the kids thought he was really weird and started throwing stones at him. It didn't really bother him, but his focus, So then he said, I need to get more focus. He goes into a cave. And if you look at the most recent pictures of him, he has attained Mahasamadhi, but you'll see little scars all over his legs. He always wears just this langoti, right? A loincloth. While he's doing his tapas, underneath the caves, if you go, you'll see this region, and you'll see how treacherous it is. But scorpions and snakes would bite him. But he wasn't bothered because it's their home. You tell me that, I'm out of there. I'm not there because I still identify with the body. Oh, this poor body. Oh, the pain. Oh, the scar. My poor body. That's me. He's sitting there. This is their home. I am their food. He still does tapas. Okay? What does he do tapas on? Who am I? In Tamil, it's nan-yar. His entire book is written on nan-yar. That's all. That's a Mahatma. Whenever we use the word Mahatma, we have to be careful. I am not a Mahatma. There's people that we call Mahatmas. They're not Mahatmas. A Mahatma, a teenager, thinking about this existential truth and doing something about it. Sometimes we think, we don't act. And that's it. He reached his realization. He didn't leave that mountain. You go there, you go to Ramanashrama, and you'll see that little kutir in which he stayed. He didn't advertise, everybody came to him, because this is another beauty. There's a magnetic pull towards realized beings. And it is magnetic, because every cell in this body moves. And I'm not a physicist, but every cell in this body moves according to vibrations, right? That's a reality. And people who are realized emit a different frequency because they don't function on this plane. So an entire ashram was built around him. And even today you can go there, they do annadanam, free food, sattvic food, excellent food. They have their own little residences you can stay at. Sometimes they have satsangs, but mostly people just sit there and meditate. That's all he needed. So his question, same question. Nan yar, who am I? It didn't take him 101 years like Indraji. It took him maybe a decade, less than that. Each person is different. But that's the question we need to ask ourselves. What keeps us from that becoming a downward cycle? Knowing the other side of the coin. If I'm not this body, then who am I? Otherwise, you'll get very depressed, right? Oh, I'm nothing then. I'm nothingness. There's an interesting video, Neil deGrasse Tyson talking about dust particles. It gives me goosebumps even now, where he talks about all of this space, Earth, this dust is nothing but me. I'm a part of everything. So, I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, I'm not the intellect. I am something so much greater than that. I'm the source of all of that. Why not go to the source? Why not seek the source? Because I'm distracted by all this extra baggage. And it's not easy. That's why we need to hold on to. What do you guys hold on to? Your car, your house, your parents, your children? What do you hold on to get through this difficulty? Huh? Vedas? Okay. Sometimes Vedas don't work. I study it every Sunday and I forget every Monday. Forget it. Sunday night I forget it. Money. You hold on to money? Bhagavan! Nobody said this is easy. We don't have to sit for 101 years, assuming we'll live 101 years from today, staring at our reflection. We don't need to wait 101 years. And this is me speaking to you authentically. If it is not for Bhagavan and holding Bhagavan's hand, I think it's impossible to cross this ocean. Because I do, like I said, oh, it's pinch. Ooh, ow. My baby bites me and I push her away. Ow. I can't even stand something I love more than my life biting me and causing pain to this body. Childbirth, I didn't have a choice. But with the conscious mind, how many janmas we've been conditioned that this is who I am. Janma after janma. It's not going to break like this unless we have blessings of Brahmana Maharishi Ji and Santa Mahatmas like that. That's why we celebrate Gurudev. You know, Gurudev didn't have a poor life. He had an opulent life. He could have had anything he wanted, university educated, took part in the most intellectual circles, armchair philosopher he was. A smoker, a drinker, everything. And remember what he told that kid that asked him about this world. How do you let it go? Why? That gum in your mouth, how long are you going to chew it? How long are you going to chew it? Until the flavor runs out. That's what Gurudev said. I chewed and chewed and chewed. Flavor ran out of this world. We only think there's flavor. It's a facade. And I'm there with you guys through all of this because I feel the same way. I've been conditioned, right? And what did I do? I studied the Vedas for 2 years in India, dedicated myself, and still, so many times, the body, mind, and intellect take over. Because Vedo nityam adiyatam tadutitam karma swanushtiyatam. Am I doing the karmas assigned by the Vedas every day? Not yet. Am I studying the Vedas every day? Bhagavan's name is there. Vedas? Some days yes, some days no. We sit dedicatedly to that. Some days I'm lucky if I eat 3 meals and feed my child and I'm done. That's where we're surviving. When we are in survival mode, the Vedas are it. I do not negate that. That is the truth. But am I ready? Am I accepting? Am I seeing it that way? Remember the very first class I told you all, my husband asked me about this birth plan. Do you want me to just tell you you're Brahman? I said, don't you dare. That's not the time. Because the emotions have taken over. I want Bhagavan Krishna's bhajans. That's all. You hold my hand. If you faint, Bhagavan Krishna's bhajans. Right? You work your way to the point that this body, mind, and intellect don't control you. You discipline them. That's most of the battle in life. When I talk to, I think, mostly middle schoolers and high schoolers, they're in the thick of it, and I have so much empathy for them. Because they have zero control over this mind. They might be 4.0, 5.0 these days, weighted GPAs, taking 5 AP tests and 5 IB exams, but check in on them once in a while. So much pressure is building up inside. And when they leave the house, they won't have your eyes. And they're surrounded by more confused people. That's what we are. Yes, some people come at me with, rebuttals, right? Well, young people of today, this 17-year-old is changing the world. She invented this, he invented that. There's a cure for cancer, there's this and that. Yeah, sure, good job, accomplishments. How are they doing internally? How long is that going to last? We have seen it all in our lifetime. People that have been in the Forbes 30 under 30 melt, crash, and die because they lied about things. I've seen it, multiple articles. A Fortune 500 company buys a startup. They find out it's all fake. And she was in the 30 under 30 or 40 under 40, one of those, whatever. How long does that last? How many days do those magazine front covers, all of that last, right? Until we get a reality check. Some people ask, why do we need Balavihar teaching them all of this BMI, body, mind, intellect stuff, not body, mass index. Body, mind, intellect. That's what Gurudev's BMI is. Why do you need that? They're so young. They're so innocent in life. They don't need that yet. It's not about making them depressed. It's about giving them the tools. That if someone makes fun of how you look, that's not you. It's okay. Yes, we shouldn't make fun of how people look. I get that. But can you always control what other people say and do? No. So Vedanta is medicine for all of us. Can we please close the door? I don't know why there's so much interruption today. No. Okay. Thank you. So, see? No Ramana Maharshi here. I can get distracted. Right? So what were we talking about? Anybody?
BMI.
Which is body mass index? Body, mind, intellect. Why is it important for our kids to know that? Because the earlier we realize our self-worth is located beyond what this body, mind, and intellect gives us, the more efficient we'll be in using this BMI. The more efficient we will be in using this BMI rather than letting this BMI use us. Because that's what happens. My body is using me. Oh, I'm so tired, I don't want to get up. Okay, buddy, you do what you want to do. Build that relationship with the body. Oh, you're tired? What do you need so we can get up? What do I need to do better tomorrow? Oh, I'm just weak, I'm just lazy, Don't accept that. Body, I'm sorry I didn't go to sleep early yesterday. I'll be better. Can we try again today? Yeah. Okay, let's do it. Body, I did not feed you well yesterday. I had the greasiest food. I know it was a cheat day. I went overboard, but we're going to be better today. Let's go. You train the body. You train the mind. You train the intellect. You don't have to be the smartest person in the room all the time. That's where so many kids have the worst time their first semester of college. Even nowadays, these kids going into high school, these magnet programs, maybe in their elementary and middle school, they're used to being the top kid in the class. They get into these magnet programs, they're not the best kid in the class. And their self-worth was tied to my grades. Your parents might not be the ones putting that pressure, but it surrounds you, right? If I'm not rank 1, who am I? If I'm not top 10 in the class, who am I? Purva Paksha, or the rebuttal that you hear, then you're just raising demotivated kids. No, what did I say? Efficient. You become efficient at using this BMI. You don't become lazy. Because the reality of living in this world is, act I must. You tell yourself or your children or anybody, don't do anything except breathe. You think that that's a blessing. You'll be like, oh, finally, I get to do nothing. How many days into a vacation are we like, all right, what am I doing? What are we doing? Where are we going? What are we eating? We can't. 3 days? 3 days. How many people last longer? Oh, nobody can last past 3 days of doing nothing. How many people retire and then go back to work? Retire, and then they run the nonprofit that they don't make any money for like it's a Fortune 500 company. I've seen that too. This is just my hobby. Oh yeah? Why is your calendar filled with all these meetings? We can't prevent action. You're not going to turn your kids lazy by telling them the truth of the BMI, right? In fact, we're preparing them to be better than us. That's all we want, right? You're here today. Most of you, it's not because you really want to be here. It's because my kids are here. They dragged me here, right? If I didn't have childcare or a class, I wouldn't be here, right? Priorities are different. What can I do every day to remind myself? 1, look in the mirror. Do I have to tell you to look in the mirror? No, we do it. But maybe the next time we look in the mirror, we're not staring at that zit or that hair or that earring or whatever, or the bags under my eyes, or that gray hair. It's like, okay, that's going on. I'm going to step back from that. And the body and the mind are synced. We can try our best to control this body. We can naturally control the mind and the intellect. And our worth is not tied to that. Right? So, what is Atma? In some of the texts, it is body. In our Upanishads, in some places they say Atma, Virochana said body. Done. In some of our texts, Atma is Jivatma. I don't like the term soul. It's a subtle being. It's a subtle being. That's it. Soul has a different root, and that's not what we're talking about. So this Jivatma, going in and out of this world, cycling through the water droplets. Sometimes Atma is referred to the Jivatma. Then Paramatma. This Bhagavan is Paramatma. And then you have this Brahman, Atma, supreme consciousness. So if you look in our text, Atma is used for anything anyone considers as I or me. Atma Tripti. Right? We use that in some languages. Oh, you came to our house today, Atma Tripti. My heart is full, but they're using Atma as a heart. Atma Saman, okay. Is that Hindi?
Yeah, like self-respect.
Self-respect, okay. There you go. That's not the supreme conscious, that's mental imagery, so it's mind and intellect. So the use of Atma is varied. All we have to do, it's an equation, simple equation. Consciousness, the unlimited consciousness, plus body, mind, intellect, is this limited being. You take away the body, anything that's impermanent, you take away. Not the body. This is called a neti, right? Not this, not this. It's a methodology used in our Upanishads. Neti, not this, not this, not this. What am I? Not the body, not the mind, not the intellect. Process of elimination. That's the equivalent. Process of elimination is neti. Atadvyavriti is another name. So, what's left? That consciousness. Do we have the courage and the vulnerability to get rid of the body, mind, and intellect? That's all life's about. Some people say the first 15 years of your life is building up trauma, and the rest of your life is sorting through that trauma and recovering. That's tough. It takes a lot of effort to move beyond that. It takes a lot of effort to move beyond the hurt of one janma. You're talking about all these lofty things. I can't even stop being mad at my spouse for an argument I had yesterday. If that's where we are, Bhagwan, hold my hand, that's where we begin. That's where we begin. And remember, last time was the first time I saw you all after the New Year's. The New Year's is an arbitrary day. It has no lunar or solar significance. It has no religious significance to any religion, really. So for us, we begin every day like it's a new day. Every minute like a new minute. And we will fail. Every week I tell you, you're like, it's so demotivating. If you want motivational talks, there's definitely other people that do that. We will fail, that's a reality. But is God with me? That's the game changer. So many times there have been bridges I thought I could not cross, and I was only able to cross it with Bhagwan and Guru's grace. Because sometimes this mind is also stubborn. We play games. So many people like to play games with Bhagwan. And I tell Bhagwan, Krishna, I love you, but. Krishna, I believe you, but. I want you to show me. So in the next 5 seconds, somebody wearing a yellow scarf needs to walk through that door, and then I'll know you're watching me. Krishna, you didn't come. You're not watching me. Where's that yellow scarf? 10 minutes later, the yellow scarf comes. I said 5 minutes. Even these games with Bhagwan's okay, as long as he's in the conversation. I've seen so many people do that. I've heard stories of people. There's an elderly lady, right? She's lost everybody in her family. Her children live in, of course, foreign country these days, right? And she's by herself. She's very busy. What does she do? She has a little murti of Bhagwan Krishna. She makes the clothes for, this is real, I'm not making this up, okay? I know living far away from these kind of people and places, we may think I'm making it up, but it's not. She hand makes all these nice clothes for Bhagwan Krishna. He's tiny, okay? This isn't some big murti, tiny Krishna. Probably given by her mother-in-law's mother-in-law. She makes food. She barely eats. You lose your appetite getting old. She barely eats. She makes naivedyam for Bhagwan. Bhagwan, spoon for you, spoon for me. Spoon for you, spoon for me. Okay. Bathing Bhagwan. She's busy. All day she's busy. Then, Bhagwan, you remember what you said in the Gita? Let's read it together. Reading the Gita. Srimad Bhagavatam. You remember Maya? Oh my gosh, and she tied you to the pole? And then those two twisters came? What were their names again? Oh, I have to find it. I'll tell you. You were so adorable, Bhagawan. Bhagawan, it's time to take a nap. Sing some song. Bhagawan sleeps. She sleeps. Oh, Bhagawan, I forgot to give you your snack. Let's go. Making this hot milk for Bhagawan. Then, more time. Maybe somebody comes, India, somebody comes, goes. Okay, you have to go now. I'm busy. That lady, what? You're busy. You don't have anybody here. I'm busy. Sends off all the guests. Because sometimes guests just want to gossip, right? I'm busy with something and someone more important. She goes back into her puja room. Sorry, Bhagwan, she just talks, doesn't even listen. She doesn't understand it's late for your dinner. That's it. That's her day, that's her life. And that's all. You don't need to put Upanishads in front of her. She has Bhagwan. Can we do that? One day? Yes. Yes. We have to believe that. Otherwise, there's no crossing the samsara without Bhagwan. So maybe today we're playing these games of that yellow dupatta coming through the door. She's not wearing yellow. I would have said, oh, I should have said white dupatta. It's okay to play games with Bhagwan. In fact, what I've noticed is when you start playing these games, you can start seeing the world as games too. Guruji wrote a book, The Game of Life. It's funny. When I argue with my spouse, later on I'm like, if my spouse was Krishna, would I have said this to him? Probably not. Would Radha have done that to Krishna? Probably not. Radha was basically waiting to spend time with Krishna. Or maybe she would have. So many of the gopis tested Bhagwan, I don't know how he had patience. So, yes, Vedas, Bhagwan. And the goal is, with Bhagwan's support and help, every day, look in that mirror. I don't want to see that as who I am. That's not me. That's not me. That body is not me. Someone wants to call this body frail, this weak, this old, young, whatever. Let it be. Best yet, maybe Bhagwan's playing hide and seek with you in the mirror. You'll totally forget about your face. Oh, that's Bhagwan? Okay. The mind. It's not. I don't need to get worked up. Take a walk. Breathe. Turn the junction box off. Whatever it is. The intellect. Everybody's intellect will deteriorate. It's a matter of time. You do your best. Be efficient. And that's all. So that was summary of last week, and I answered what Atma is. That was the question. The next question was about Mahavakyas. That's a dense topic. We'll get to that when I get back. I'm going to India, so I'll be back later. But I will be here for our great celebration, Mahotsava, so I'll see you there. And next week we're at the temple. Yeah, there's a Satyanarayan Puja there, so we'll be there. Okay, we'll finish with Purnamadaha. Take a deep breath in. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.